It was great to meet with you today. You too. Oh, yeah, see you next week. Okay, take care. Take care can be such a simple statement of closure, but when stated with sincerity, it translates to something more along the lines of take good care of yourself because I care about you. Virginia Held describes it, our connection will cause me to feel with and for you. Today we're delving into the ethics of care and its relationship to justice within a framework of moral reasoning and moral theory. But what do we mean when we say ethics of care? At its core, the ethics of care is focused on attending to and meeting the needs of others for whom we take responsibility. One example is a parent caring for a child. Another example is a doctor caring for a patient. The ethics of care is a moral inclination that enables human beings to live and progress communally. It's a compassionate approach to moral decision making and a moral theory that prioritizes empathy, compassion, and relationships in ethical decision making. It emphasizes the significance of caring for others and recognizing interdependence. Let's explore the roots of this philosophy. In its historical context, it has origins in feminist philosophy and feminist ethics. It traces back to the works of Carol Gilligan, Nell Noddings, and other feminist scholars. This emerged in response to the limitations of traditional moral theories and justice-based ethics such as Kantian deontology and utilitarianism. At its core, ethics of care assert that relationships matter, recognizing the importance of personal relationships in ethical decisions, caring for and about others. Contextual ethics, meaning acknowledging that ethical decisions should be context dependent, considering the specific circumstances, individuals involved, and the potential consequences. Lastly, it emphasizes that there is a moral responsibility to care for others, especially those in vulnerable positions, recognizing that caring is not just a virtue, but also a duty. Now let's meet the key thinkers who shaped this perspective. Carol Gilligan. Carol Gilligan was a researcher, and in her book, called In a Different Voice, she challenged Kohlberg's states of moral development and introduced the idea of care-based ethics. Second thinker that we're talking about today is Nell Noddings. Noddings developed the concept of the ethics of care as an alternative to traditional moral theories, emphasizing the role of nurturing and relationships in ethical decision-making. And finally, Joan Tronto explains that there are 4 elements when it comes to an ethics of care: attentiveness, responsibility, competence, and responsiveness. It's within this framework that we can do the necessary work of caring for marginalized members of the community with empathy. It requires an awareness of vulnerability and thought consideration for the complexities of interdependence. It compels that those most impacted by our choices deserve a voice in the decision-making, and that there's no one-size-fits-all approach. These thinkers paved the way for a more compassionate approach to ethics. But how do we apply the ethics of care in our own lives? I can't wait to see what you do.